What's up, guys? I'm Tim. This is New Craft Workshop. You guys ready to build some more holiday stuff? I know you are, so let's go. What's up, guys? I'm Tim. This is New Craft Workshop, and it's time for another holiday build. We got a couple more of these in us before the end of the year, before Christmas rolls around, and it's time to move on to those springtime projects that are coming up pretty soon. So today I got two more really cool projects for you. We're going to build a snowflake. I'm going to show you kind of my process of going through a designer snowflake. And then we're going to build this little Christmas tree slash candle stand that I think a lot of you guys will find pretty awesome to have in your home decor for the holidays. So let's get right after this first build. Now, most of the time right here, I'll pop up a cut list, and over here, I'll pop up a tool list. The cut list for this first project is going to be non-existent because we're building a snowflake. Now, if you know anything about snowflakes, you know that no two snowflakes supposedly that have ever fallen from the sky are the same.
Yes, science!
So guess what? I'm not going to give you a cut list because you're going to make your snowflake your own, right? Isn't that what we do here? Make it your own. I'm not going to give you a cut list, and you're going to get out there and you're going to build yours from scratch and make it exactly how you think it should look. And then you're going to post it on Facebook group for all of us to see, because I want to see everybody's take on this snowflake. But I will give you this tool list. For this, we are going to need very few items. We're going to need a saw to cut all of our material down, and we are going to need a brad nailer, and we're going to need some wood glue, maybe some clamps if you would prefer to clamp it together. And I know I didn't give you a cut list, but let me just tell you what we're using. I am using slats. Now look, we use these a lot out in our shop. You're going to see me here in a minute over at the table saw cutting this stuff down, but the table saw is where I get my slats. I have a going make thin rip jig that allows me to take a 2x4, rip these off safely and make my own. But if you do not have the ability to do so, head over to your big box store, go to the lumber section, buy the dowels and the square rod and everything. They're going to have some slats, and if you can't find them there, just pick up a couple of yardsticks in the paint department and sand off the markings, and those are perfect for slats. They're 1/4 inch thick. They're going to work out just great. All right, right here you'll notice I'm over at my table saw. If you don't have a table saw, just use your miter saw. If you don't have a miter saw, use your handheld saw and your little miter box, because we are going to need some straight cuts and some angled cuts for this. I'm going to start by cutting 3 pieces at 18 inches, and I'm going to square those ends off. That's just my design. You do yours, because that's how we do it here. And then for the tips of my snowflakes, I'm going to need 12 pieces that are cut kind of at a parallelogram shape, where we've got a 45-degree angle going in the same direction on both of those boards. I am going to make my pieces 4 inches long each. And then I'm going to need 12 little triangles, because that's the style I'm making my snowflake. You could also do smaller parallelograms in this particular spot, but once we start assembling this back over at the workbench, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut 12 triangles, 2 for each of the arms of this snowflake, and because we've got 3 pieces, we have 6 arms. And then once these things are cut and all of our stuff is ready to go, we can head back over to the workbench where we're going to get this thing assembled. All right, we're back from the saw. We have all of our pieces. These are going to go together like this. We're going to form our little pieces on the end like this. I'm going to leave a little bit of an overhang right here. And the assembly process for this could not be more simple. We are going to take some wood glue. And as you can see, the measuring process, as always, for these rustic crafts here on New Craft Workshop are extremely precise. We are going to glue these in place. Grab us a little spring clamp. That's going to hold it right there. We're going to repeat this on every end I'm gonna flip this around, pop our next one right here. We're gonna repeat this, and then we're gonna come up about an inch from here and pop our little, I'm drawing a total blank. I know these are parallelograms, but I'm drawing a total blank on what these are called. If you know in the comments, let me know. By the time I pop this video up, I'll know exactly what these are. But we're gonna come up about an inch here and about an inch here, and then we're gonna glue these together. Once the glue sets up, we can pop the 3 pieces together and our snowflake's done. So through the magic of editing, I'm gonna knock this out and I'll show you what it looks like once it's all assembled. All right, wasn't that like so fast? I mean, that was fast. So let's get all these little clamps off of here. And now we have our 3 components, and all we are going to do is we're gonna set these together just like this. And the way I designed this with these pieces right here that I have yet to think of what they're called, and I know my geometry teacher, Mr. Scarmato from school, would be so mad at me right now. He'd be like, I can't believe you cannot remember what that's called. Parallelogram. Whatever. Okay, last thing that we need to do is we just need to glue and tack this in place. I mean, I'm not sure about you guys, but this little project right here was super quick, super simple. And I mean, if I'm being completely honest with you, I mean, I like my design today. It turned out really freaking cool. So, pop a couple brads in here. And again, I am using really short brads because I'm using slats to put this together. So, we are done. I mean, seriously, check that out. I mean, let me know down in the comments your thoughts, but I mean, I'm gonna toot my own horn on this one and tell you this turned out great. This is made from scrap material around my shop, and because it is a snowflake, it is your individual take. Every single snowflake is different. Every one of you guys is different. Be an individual, create your own, make it special, make it match your decor, and at the end of the day, hang that thing up on your wall and say, oh my God, look, I made that because I'm pretty freaking awesome. So that's it for project 1. Are you guys ready for project 2? Let's go. All right. Project 2 today, another simple build. This is that cool little Christmas tree / candle holder that you just saw. We're gonna be making this out of 1x6 pine, and we're gonna start with our cut list, give you the tool list, then we're gonna get this thing rolling as well. So cut list, gonna be a little bit different cut list as well. So for our base where the candle is going to set, we have our 1x6, which if you are new to woodworking, you know that, or don't know yet, that a 1x6 is 3/4 thick by 5.5 inches wide. Actually, I think, let me grab my tape measure. I think they've actually started 5.25. Nope, I'm 5.5. I have been buying boards lately. Sometimes they're 1/4 inch, sometimes they're 1/2 inch, but we're 5.5. So we want our base to be 5.5 inches long so that we've got a nice perfect square at the bottom. And then we're gonna make our tree out of the same material. But again, on this particular cut list, I'm not going to give you the dimensions. I'm going to show you at the miter saw how we're going to cut this. And when you see the process, it'll make a whole lot more sense. We're basically going to start out with a triangle, and then we're going to use that triangle to make our 2nd and 3rd level lengths so that they look like a tree. I promise you will see what I'm talking about. So that's it for your cut list. We're going to need 3 pieces for our tree, 1 piece for our base. That's it. Head over here to your tool list. You're going to need your saw, preferably a miter saw. If you do not have a miter saw, you can do this by hand. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. And you're going to need to make sure that you just take your time with your cuts, or else your tree is going to be extremely rustic. But hey, if that's the look you're going for, then do it, because guess why? Make it your own, right? All right, you're going to need brad nailer or pocket hole jig. I am going to be using a pocket hole jig today. I'm going to show you how these things come together with a pocket hole jig, but I will give you, as a beginner, you might not have one. If you need one, I'll pop a link down in the description. Yeah, shameless plug, but look, they're getting super cheap. You can buy a really good $50. Going makes an aluminum one that is absolutely phenomenal. Comes with everything you need to get started in pocket hole joinery. But if you don't have a pocket hole jig, I will show you an alternative method to getting this tree put together. You're going to need some wood glue, and you're going to need, if you're not using your pocket hole joinery, you're going to need your brad nailer or some hammer and nails, and that is it. Saw, pocket hole joinery, brad nails, that's it. Let's go. All right, we're here at the miter saw, and the first thing we're going to cut is our base, which is 5.5 by 5.5. This is the easiest cut. Let's just cut a square, and then we can move on to our actual tree. Now I'm using the angle of 30 degrees for my particular tree. Again, make it your own. You can do whatever angle you want. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with the top triangle. That triangle is going to designate the width of each of our following pieces. So what we do is we take our triangle, we flip our board over so that the angles are running the same direction, and we're going to scoot our triangle over about 3/4 of an inch to an inch, and then we're going to mirror that dimension on the opposite side of the board. And you can see right here where I'm moving this over to give this like a little step down, and then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a line right here, and that is where we're going to cut our 30-degree on our next piece. Once that piece is cut, we can flip our board over, move it over slightly, create that little step reveal on our third piece of our tree, come in about the same distance on the right-hand side, put a mark. That's where the start of our 30-degree angle goes. That's going to give us our 3 pieces for our tree. Now we can get back over to the workbench and pull out that pocket hole jig. All right, I'm here at my pocket hole jig, and we're going to connect these pieces together like this. We're going to just stack these on top of each other. We're going to drill a couple pocket holes on the back, and that's going to allow you to attach edge to edge together. I mean, it's also used for butt joints and stuff as well, but whenever you're trying to join 2 edge pieces like this together, pocket hole joinery is the way to go. Now, if you've never used a pocket hole jig, this is a great unit. I'm very fortunate to have this in my shop because it's almost completely self-adjusting, which is extremely beneficial when you're doing pocket holes. But all we want to do is we want to put our material in here, drill a couple pocket holes in here, and once those are done, we'll attach this with a little bit of glue and some pocket hole screws as well. Once this process is done, I'll show you how, if you do not have a pocket hole jig, how you can get this tree built. So let's go. All right, we are back from the pocket hole jig. We're back from the saw, and basically this is how this is going to come together. And as you can see, when we used this triangle to measure our next triangle, we created that little step in effect, which is giving this the shape of a tree. Now, we're going to get this thing assembled. Again, I'm going to be using some pocket hole joinery. If you do not have pocket hole joinery, let me show you exactly how you can do this. Once your 3 pieces are cut, we're going to just lay them on our workbench. We're going to take a 1x2, a slat, whatever you have available, glue it on the back, tack it in place with your brad nailer or hammer and nails, whatever. Just run you a piece that connects these 3 together. Just make sure you don't run your piece all the way to the bottom, because when we get our shelf put on the front, which is going to go right here, we need to be able to access this portion to drive our brads in, or screws, or however you want to attach yours. So we're going to run some glue in here, and hang on. I mean, it wouldn't be like a normal New Craft Workshop video if I didn't have to go off camera and grab at least one thing, right? So we're going to go back to glue and pop a little bit on top here. It doesn't have to be a lot. The pocket hole screws, especially on a little craft like this, pocket hole screws are going to be more than adequate to hold this in place. I'm actually going to spin this around so I can get this in here a little easier. But we're going to take our pocket hole screws, and I'm just lining up left and right as good as I can. We just kind of eyeball this center left to right, because if it's completely perfect, it's not rustic. That's my opinion. So we're going to do this one more level. There's our tree. If you have a pocket hole jig, it doesn't get much easier than that. Last step is we're going to take our base. We're going to tack this on the front. I am going to glue this and tack it with some brad nails. If you want to screw this in place because you want to take my design and make it your own, feel free. I am going to tack this because it's the quickest, easiest way. And I'm just kind of looking down from my triangle. This actually, I'm trying my best to get this centered. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just kind of looking down from the point of my triangle. That's where I'm centering that board. That's it. I mean, I told you guys today was going to be 2 really quick projects. Or did I mention that? I don't know. Either way, it was 2 really quick projects. This thing right here, dress it up, make it your own. Run a router over the edge, round these over, chamfer them, paint this the way you see fit. Have your wife, if you're not the decorator like me, I mean, I build stuff, and then Miss Newscraft, she does all the decorating, and she does an absolutely phenomenal job. But make it your own, decorate yours. And as always, whenever you make any of the projects that I show you guys here at Newcraft Workshop, I would be extremely grateful if you would head over to Facebook, join our Facebook group, and share your version of our projects, or just talk shop. There's people in there that post their projects all the time. There's people in there that give tips, ask questions. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You've made it this far, so lucky you. If you've watched this series before, you know what's coming. Basecamp Dust Masks is a show sponsor here at Newcraft Workshop. It's the exclusive mask I use in my shop, and I will tell you that it is comfortable, it is breathable, it is machine washable, the filters are replaceable. It is a phenomenal mask, and prior to having Basecamp in my shop, I didn't wear my mask as much as I probably should have, and shame on me, but you will understand if you were to get yourself a Basecamp dust mask. I got 2 ways for you to do that. One is, of course, you can head over to their website, pop in this particular discount code, and you'll save 10% off every single thing you purchase on your order using my promo code. The second way is the fun way and the free way. During the course of this video, random letters popped up on the screen. Those words are associated with the holiday season. Your job is to unscramble those letters and leave me a comment using the unscrambled word in a really interesting comment. Make it humorous, make it whatever you want, but integrate the unscrambled word into your comment. I will pick 5 lucky winners, people that I feel are worthy based on their comment of a Basecamp dust mask. I'll pop them in United States Postal Service, and you'll get it in 2 to 3 days. If you're not in the continental United States, I apologize. I've ran into some major shipping difficulties. I've had 2 people that I picked as winners that were overseas, and it's like $65 to ship to one of you guys and $85 to ship to the other. So I'll work something out with you guys outside of that, because I'm a small business and that's a little out of my range. I'm not Amazon, sorry guys. But last thing before I let you go, 2 or 3 more of these coming before Christmas, probably 3. I'm going to try to do at least 1 a week. So we've got 3 more coming, and maybe even 4 or 5 if I can find the time to sprinkle them in. Like, share, subscribe, this button, leave a comment. And if you're on a mobile device, right down where it says share, like, subscribe, all that stuff, that little bar of icons right down there. If you scroll over a little bit, you'll see a hype button. I would greatly appreciate it if you'd click that hype button. Hype button tells the algorithm that not only did you enjoy this video, you think it's worthy of being shared to others that are interested in the same topic. So click that like, click that subscribe, click that share, click that hype. I know it's like 4 clicks. It's going to take you all of 5 seconds, but you can do it. All right, that's all I got for you. As always, appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with me here at Newcraft Workshop, and I'll catch you on YouTube.